Alright guys, we're back. We're doing another video on Gears of War 4. This video was inspired by the fact that basically I wanted to purchase Gears of War 4. For those that don't know, Z, Video Fletcher, whatever you want to call me, I've been playing Gears for a long time, making videos since the dawn of time, since YouTube basically let you make videos. A brief spell of popularity in the scene, and I sort of turned that popularity into my YouTube channel where I would discuss balance, patch notes, talk to the community, try and get their viewpoint across. Ultimately, that made me a very unpopular figure in the community because famously, the Gears of War community, not all of you, but the vast majority, do not like their game being attacked, constructively criticised, having anything. They don't like finding holes in it, flaws in their arguments, and it's a very tough place to get your viewpoint across. Now, the reason I'm making this video is because I wanted to purchase Gears of War 4. I wanted to make videos, I wanted to play the game, and I'm sure many others wanted to as well, and I'm sure many have. The reason I'm making the video is because when I went to purchase the game, if we go to the store, and we go to Gears of War 4, it's £41, okay, it's pretty expensive for a PC game. I could buy The Witcher 3 on launch for cheaper than that. Absolute superb game. League of Legends, Dota, Path of Exile, StarCraft all have either a complete free-to-play option or just a free-to-play game in general. There are paid games, lots of other games, and it's quite expensive. So before I jumped in and just hit that purchase button, I decided to sort of get myself acquainted. Available on Xbox and PS1, cross-platform multiplayer, multiplayer 2 to 10 players, co-op online 2 to 5, co-op local 2 players, and I thought, this looks pretty good. So you go to hit buy, and it asked me for my Microsoft account, which I don't know because I haven't had a Microsoft account in years, which doesn't let me purchase. So forget that. We actually go to the reviews, and it's the same old things coming to roost. Now, I didn't want to make this video. I wanted this video to be a really good, fun video about how Gears of War has grown. How this article, posted back in the 21st of the 4th, 2013, how this article would be irrelevant. How all of these things have gone. It's improved. I was overreacting, I was wrong, the community were wrong, and the game had come and they'd done it right. Unfortunately, all these issues have come to roost again, and I wanted to sort of let you, the community, know what's going on with Gears of War 4, what's happening, why aren't I playing it, and also I wanted to let you know out there that I do know how you feel. It's so irritating to have such a good game be so close to perfection and ruined. There's so many big YouTubers out there that will just go, right, I've seen them, they've come back, they haven't played Gears of War in years, new game comes out, bang, they start streaming it, they start making videos, they run the course. Gears of War 4 is popular for 4 weeks, 5 weeks, maybe a couple of months. They churn out every video possible, the game finishes up, it slows down, and they're off to the next thing. They're not fans of the game, they're the fans of the money potential in it, right? There's a difference. People are coming back to the game because of prize pool, because of content creation, and also people want to finish the damn story of the game, right? So I was pretty excited to play this. I could make some videos, I could play some games with my friends cross-platform, because I don't own an Xbox, and I could complete the story. So for some reason, I'm not figuring out how you do it, but last night I was looking at the reviews for this game. Here we go, and the reviews are a big initial impression for a game, okay? Steam reviews have this. You get to see the most recent reviews because a game often gets updated. So a review back in 3 months ago might not be relevant anymore. It might have been updated. So you can look at the most recent reviews, okay? Now, if we look at the reviews, it's not looking great, is it? You have like... This for me, right, is Gears of War community in a forum sort of sense, right? You've got amazing, amazing, runs like a dream. It's like a trip down memory lane. And then you've got the flip side, where they're just, this is awful, I can't install, there's error codes, it's buggy, it's laggy. Phil Spencer, I love you, it's amazing. And then you've got people, Gears is back, this is the best PC version ever, it's back. And then all of a sudden it's not back, it's not good. And honestly, it puts people off buying it. So for one, you need to have a clean PC port coming out on day one, right? Because obviously, right, initial impressions matter. So for me, hearing that the game downloaded twice, he couldn't get it to install, it was awful, that people were moaning on the 1 stars that there was no cross-platform, that obviously made me a bit hesitant to just click purchase. So the instant purchase, the instant sort of, what's the word, how am I trying to word it? The impulse buy had gone for me. So the impulse buy had gone, so we worked on to our next thing. Alright, what's the forum saying? And this is where it got really irritating for me, and I felt like I had to make this video. Alright, so we load up the forums, what have we got? We need true crossplay. Implement daily, weekly bounties that give award gear packs or mass credits, right? Overpriced gear packs. 63 rare characters are locked behind a lottery paywall. Huge mistakes. No unlocks via leveling. No offline/local multiplayer. Why isn't there an option for players to join mid-match for Horde? Right? There are a lot of things. This game's good, but the shotgun. Shooting delays are a problem in Gears 4 beta. Update with a developer blog. So why does it take 7 to 10 minutes to start a match? Audio and footsteps, right? And these are just a few hand-picked ones. And then I began to thought, man, nothing's really changed. I was ready for this new approach. We've had developer blogs. We've had a means of communication that we haven't had before. And I thought, you know what, maybe this company's doing something right. Maybe they're on the right track. And we just need to look at my article and these problems, and they're all the same problems. I wish I could find it, but I was reading a very interesting thread yesterday on voice chat. I think it was called Party Chat. I'm not sure what it's called on the Xbox One now, and they were saying that is really spoiling it because the atmosphere of Gears of War 4 has gone. Nobody's in Party Chat anymore. There's no back and forth banter, there's no discussion, there's nothing, right? Now, this was getting a lot of upvotes. This was, this can be done in COD Modern Warfare 3, so why hasn't it been done in Gears of War 4? This was back in the beginning of 2003, and all we need to do is just take a quick look for voice chat, right? Where are we? Or should we go party? I think we had party chat. Let's go down. Here it is. Another enormous point that many people have forgot is in previous Gears games there were no party systems, and most importantly, a massive overlooked point is there was no party chat, only private chat, so only 2 people could talk privately. So in ranked or player matches, if you wanted to get into the same rank match, you had to tell your friend there's a lobby, mansion, 1st to 6, 4-minute round duration, and get in that lobby. When you're in that lobby, you sat in the lobby and you talked to other people because you were waiting for the game to fill up and there was no party chat. Right? After, because you weren't in party chat and you'd finished the game, often you'd be talking to people during rounds, you'd be having good discussions, shit talking the lot, and the host of the lobby would say, you know what guys, I'm going to start another one, I'm going to be hosting 7, 5 canals, and then you'd all race to get in it, and you'd all race to jump into it. And then you'd create this sort of friendship on the game where you were just talking with other people that played the same game with you in the same match. Also, there was no rotating cameras, there was no party chat, so you couldn't cheat and tell each other where people's players were, because obviously the ghost cam, if now you're in party chat and there was a ghost camera back in the day, you could say, right, he's in this room with grenades on the wall, he's going to try clutch it, so just stop that. This is something I've brought up previously, and I got shot down. This is why it cracks me up, right? I got shot down, everybody was like, you're moaning, you're moaning, you're negative. This isn't the reason why Gears has failed. This has nothing to do with it. Nobody cares about party chat. It does. It has a lot to do with it. People maybe now are finally grasping it, but it's too late. It's 2-3 years too late. 4 years too late. Right. So forget that. Now we're on to the crossplay aspect, okay? So the crossplay aspect is I believed I could play with Xbox players. Now, where's my controller? It's around here somewhere. For those that don't know, playing Gears of War 4 on a PC, or Gears of War 3, or Gears of War 1, sorry, a very few people would probably actually use the controller. I mean, would use the mouse. People would use the controller. It's not a Counter-Strike game. It's not a game where WASD and aiming down sight is pure king. Okay, yeah, if you put me on Counter-Strike against Xbox players, you would have no chance whatsoever. However, the game Gears of War is more about outthinking your opponent and moving correctly, and honestly, moving is better on a controller for Gears of War than a PC. The only advantage I can think is maybe sniping. But even so, everybody's so used to sniping with a controller by now that it's barely even a thing. Right? So you can't play with Xbox people. So crossplay is only Horde. Horde will get very, very, very boring very quickly. Right? People won't be playing Horde on PC in 7 months' time. That game will be dead. Right? So effectively, the PC version multiplayer is dead on arrival. So I'm now looking at spending £41, £42 I think it was, £42 on a pure campaign only game. Honestly, Gears of War 4's campaign is going to be generic. It's an FPS, it's a console campaign. I can't mod it like Skyrim or do crazy shit. It's going to be pretty boring. It's not really worth £40. For me, yeah, maybe £40 because I'm a fan of the game and a fan of the story, but for the average Joe that's just loaded up his app, he's not really going to be interested in that. So these guys are saying that there should be a crossplay style. Now, this is where I got really heated up in my head, and I was getting so angry because we're dealing with the same people. The previous Gears of War forum was ruined by a set amount of people shooting everyone's ideas down, shooting everyone sensible that came into the forum, and it was like a clique kind of environment. If you'd been on the forum for a long time, you got respect. If not, and you're a new player, say you're a big time Gears player, you've played like 5 years, and you think, you know what, I'm going to make a forum account and I'm going to make a post. People would come up and you're going to get PTSD, you're going to get triggered. People would say adapt. They'd say, you know what, you need to adapt. The retro lancer, the stopping power, the hard aims, you need to adapt. The frag tags, the inconsistency, you need to adapt. You're not good, you need to adapt. Right? And I started to see this in this thread. Started to see that word cropping up again, and I thought, you know what, nothing's changed. You should be able to play crossplay. This is a small player base. There are not 2 million of us on PC gonna come onto Xbox and smoke everyone and take over the ladder. There are very few people that will be playing this game in a ranked multiplayer environment on PC, and we should be able to join in. This is your welcome to Windows 10. This is your welcome to we can make a PC game, yet we cannot do the features that are intended. I don't want to go out and buy a £200 Xbox, a £50 game, £50 for Xbox Live, just to play this one game when it's on PC anyway and the technology is there for me to crossplay. So that was a big put off for me. Then we get on to not even game balance. We'll talk about that in a minute, but little things, okay? Let's say, because I always like to think that game balance is the last piece of the puzzle. It should be the first piece of the puzzle, but for most people it's not. For most people, they pick up the game, They're new to the franchise. So when you're new to a franchise, when I was new to Gears 1, I never complained for about 2 years because you just got on with it. If you had never played Gears and you just pick it up, you're not going to suddenly think, the Retro Lancer is too strong, the rifles are too strong, the shotgun's too good at long range. You're not going to think like that because you just take it at face value. If the shotgun shoots somebody from 50 foot, well, this is the first time you're playing this game. That's how it must work. That's how the developers must have intended it to work. So I'll just do that, right? There's a guy 50 foot away, I'll pull out my shotgun and I'll shoot him because that's how the game works, right? You won't complain about that. However, the problem comes when you have things like this, like the credit system. You have overpriced microtransactions, okay? You have rare characters that are locked behind a paywall, right? Now, this is already a game that you'd paid £41 for. I do not want to spend any more for characters. Let's think about this from a purely casual perspective. When I played Gears of War 1, initially, one of my favourite things to do was play the campaign and unlock the characters through various difficulties, right? As a new player, that trained me to play the game better, to blah blah blah, do different things in the game, but it also did one key thing that people aren't realising. It was a recognising tool that when I went into a multiplayer game and I saw a guy had General Ram, or I saw a guy had Kim, I knew that he was up to X stage in the campaign, or he'd done the campaign on X difficulty, and he'd unlocked that character, and that's why he was using him, because he liked that character. It was impactful in the campaign, and he'd unlocked it, so he decided to use it. Now, you have no characters. You're paying for them, right? This is pretty fucking ridiculous. That you're buying, like he says, a premium priced game and premium content is locked behind paywalls and the Xbox Live DRM, the online shenanigans. Let us unlock them the old fashioned way. This is such a bummer for me. I really did not expect this coalition company to do something like this. Put it this way, right? This was meant to be the clean wash of juice that washed the fucking stink out of our mouth of judgment, right? They were meant to cleanse our palate. They were meant to give us this lovely game. You know what? Your PC ports have been lacking. Your PC support's been lacking. Whole games are missing on PC. On the Xbox, it's spongy, it's laggy. There's glitches, there's bugs. There's issues, there's balance issues, there's map design issues, there's game mode issues. We're going to clean all that up and we're going to give you a brilliant Gears game, right? Instead, they just went, let's chuck a campaign up, let's make an expensive game on PC, let's not let them play with Xbox, let's lock the characters behind a lottery-based paywall, and again, no character unlocks via leveling. And then you have people like this. Well, I think if they increase the credit per matches, I think it will be okay. Right? And the thing is, this is like a League of Legends method, right? League of Legends is a free-to-play game, but for you to unlock all the characters in a reasonable amount of time, you have to use RP. If you spend all of your IP, which is an in-game currency, on buying the characters, you have no in-game currency left to buy runes. Runes are like damage modifiers and stuff like this that you need to play the game at a good level. So effectively, by spending your money on characters, your in-game money on characters, you have no in-game currency left, which makes you spend money on the other things in the game. Oh, I've used my in-game currency on some runes, so instead of playing for another 30 hours and unlocking this character via some RNG, how many points I get per game, I'll just buy it for £5. It is free to play, but it's not really free to play. So not being able to level a character, not being able to unlock a character via doing the campaign, doing missions, it's so simple. It gets people into different game modes as well. It's so simple. Horde, reach level, let's say there's 50 levels in Horde, reach level 50 on Insane, unlock Golden Carmine. You see somebody in a game with Golden Carmine, hey, that guy's played a lot of Horde, I might go join in some Horde, I like that character. That's a As a point of reference. Oh, he's got RAM. Yeah, he's done Act 3 on Insane. Yeah, I'm going to go do that. There's no... You can't do something like that. You can't take away unlocks via leveling, otherwise it just becomes pointless. Now, apparently, there's no offline and local multiplayer. When I was brand new to the game, and yeah, this was 8, 9, 10 years ago, the internet wasn't as popular, I didn't even have the internet. I used to take my copy of Gears of War around to my friend's house, and we used to play it on his Xbox down the road, right? Maybe that's not needed anymore because everybody has the internet these days, but to just remove local multiplayer... I remember a few years ago there was a post that people in army bases and military bases loved playing Gears of War, and they used to play it offline on their Xbox 360s. Well, they can't do that anymore, apparently, because it's an online game mode only. So that's just weird. Why isn't there an option for players to join mid-match for Horde? Who knows? I don't understand this. There's no logic to me. Just losing a player feels bad. Horde is a very, very long match, right? It's not the most competitive thing, so if there was a leaderboard for racing and all 5 of you had to get your name up for a time and it was very competitive, then maybe a player dropping out, I can understand them not getting a player in, but this is Horde mode, right? If somebody drops out, just get somebody in, right? If the person joins and they search and they end up in a level 20 Horde match and they don't want to be in it, they can leave. This is daft. Now, we're moving on to a bit of game balance. We've had some core issues, like it doesn't matter how old you are to the game, how new you are to the game. Core issues are always going to be the main focus. The no crossplay. You don't matter if you've played 10 years of Gears of War or 10 seconds, you know that's a bad thing. Paid leveling and no characters, you know that's a bad thing. Now you have like bugs and balance issues and a lack of communication, you know that's a bad thing. These are all things that I said in this. You can't split the community. This is like step 1. You can't split the community. Because if you split the community with DLC and non-DLC, or different types of game modes like Zeta and competitive, you have people learning different types of games. So all of a sudden the guns don't react the same in all the modes. You have people spectating your esports and they're used to playing competitive, so they understand that this guy's Lancer does X amount of damage, but they don't play competitive. They play the other game mode and they're trying to figure out why is his Lancer doing more damage. I'm new, it looks a little bit different. It gets a bit confusing for new people, and they're really the core of your game these days. It's just, you can't do something like that. You can't split up the game. The fact that there's a competitive game mode and a non-competitive game mode with completely different balances is just utterly retarded. Now you might say, that's great, new players get involved. Listen to me. A new player in Gears of War will play the game no matter what the balance, because they are new. They take it at face value. And they pick up their copy, they don't go, wow, that Retro Lancer downed me from too close. I'm going to turn this game off and make a forum thread. No, they don't. They just go, oh right, that gun must be pretty powerful in this game, let's carry on. This is why games like Dota, StarCraft, League of Legends have one game mode and they balance it. CSGO, you don't have CSGO, you don't have different damage numbers in one game mode and different damage numbers for a gun in another game mode. It's all the same, so players get used to it. Players playing gun mode in CSGO go, oh, tap tap, damn, the AK just one-shot headshot somebody. I now know that AK, when I take it into a competitive game, is going to one-dink me, right? They don't go, oh, spray, 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 this AK took 63 bullets to kill somebody. Then they go into a competitive and the guy just goes, dink. And he's like, whoa, how did you make that AK one-shot headshot me? Mine doesn't do that. How are you doing that? You've got to have everyone on the same page, right? This is like, so glad I didn't pre-order this. There was a huge thread on this after the beta, and they said they would fix it. Anybody who knows Gears shows that there shouldn't be a delay in this game. There was a video, Video Fletcher, Gears of War shotgun. There was a video, right, that showed the bullshit, of, God, I can't even remember. It was, where would I look it up? It was Smithy123. Have I just Smithy? Gears of War? I don't even know where I'd find it, man. Callum, Gears of War. 2 shotgun. Anyway, this was like a... Where would I find this? I don't think I'll ever find the video. But it was effectively... So 2 shotgun issue. I don't know where I'd find it. I'd probably never find it. Here it is, Smithy123. I've just remembered that so randomly. Right, this is me and my friend in November the 4th, 2010, showing you that, right, the shotgun does so much damage from range, right? 1,000 views, right? Barely anybody was fucking doing this shit, right? We were showing that the different aiming techniques cause different damages, right? Which shouldn't be true, right? If I hip fire and all the bullets hit the same target, and I hard aim and all the bullets hit the same target, they should all do the same damage values. This inconsistency causes a massive issue. Now, I am hitting him from spawn to spawn with a shotgun here. This is how long range the shotgun was. I am hitting him from spawn to spawn with a shotgun. Right? That is broken. The shotgun we have been trying to fix for years. Probably the best shotgun was Gears of War 3 beta. The Gears of War 2 one had you'd run, and sometimes it would shoot the floor. Sometimes you'd roadie run, and it would have a huge delay. And everybody in this thread is just saying what a massive problem it is that there's a delay and that they... Like... Can you believe... I can't tell if this is trolling or not, but it just gets me so irritated. Look at this guy, right? This guy is saying, I like the delay. It gives other people... it gives other people time to react. We can't all be sweaty tryhards. Some of us have fucking jobs to do. This is the type of people that are on your game. People complain about the shotgun in every Gears. It's not broken, you just can't go 50-0 to every game. Now the difference is, in Gears of War 1, I could go 50-0. I think I put up an execution game where I went 42-1. Because if you were good enough, like Counter-Strike or StarCraft, you will win every single match because you are good enough. Because the game has such a skill range that if you are good enough, you will win. Right? There cannot be a delay on the shotgun. This is like a developer blog, right? One of the clear pieces of feedback from the team we gleaned from the beta was a general more responsiveness and options around the cover. One of the most important changes we've made is having reduced the firing delay whilst popping out or up from cover to give you that snappy feel. Right? Now, VVV Bauerbus, right? Let's have a look at this guy, right? This was one of the first competitive people I started to copy, right? Look at him on... This is known as... We used to play here. This is the Bauerbus spot, right? So, we used to go on this spot, and look, if you're running and rolling and whipping off cover, whipping round cover like this, look, you can insta-shoot, right? You can absolutely outplay people, right? Because you can instantly shoot. This is one of the only reasons Gears of War exists, right? The only... Right, now people right now will be going, you're daft. Gears of War exists because... Not because this guy can play a shotgun, right? This is the only reason Gears of War still exists. When a game comes out, they die. New games come out all the time. Think how many games have been produced right now. Think how many games actually become a sort of staple name. Not many, right? Compared to all the billions of games being made every single second. You have like Pokemon Go, it's a fad, it lasts a few weeks, blah blah blah. Some games become a staple, and some games do this through a simple mechanic executed perfectly. That's what most games are. They take an idea, it's not a complicated idea, and they nail that idea, right? And that's how it becomes a good game. Gears of War was meant to be a third-person tactical shooter. The multiplayer, for those that don't know, was a system tagged on at the end. They decided that actually the game should have multiplayer, so they sort of created some maps, and they just winged the multiplayer and chucked it all in there, right? And off we went. This is what happened. Players suddenly started shooting slowly with lancers, and then after a few years, they realised, like, damn, this game is actually incredibly fast-paced, and it's all about bouncing off cover, you know, dodging shots, strafing, insta-shooting, roadie running. Yeah, it's a lot of meleeing, because everyone meleeed back in the day, and I don't know why more people don't melee. Look, here, God mode when you got shot, when you curb stomp, you couldn't be damaged. Fast-paced wall bouncing, downing. This is what made the game exciting for people. The shotgun, yeah, it was inconsistent, but it was fairly consistent. You sort of knew that at X range that should body people, and at sometimes it sponged, that's just how the game was, and certain things were just in the game that you couldn't really affect, and they were a bit bullshit, but you got on with it. But the core aspect that kept people playing was this whipping over cover here, these one-on-one shotgun battles, right? These two-on-one, taking your twos, your ones, fucking popping off. Look at this, right? This is like when you're on this wall. This was the wall right here, right? Some guy would be here, if you see this. Some guy would be always behind this wall, and you'd be over this wall, right? And the whole time there would be this back and forth shotgun. You'd whip, he'd whip, you'd whip, and then somebody would get fucking bodied, and there'd be blood everywhere, and you'd be like, fucking hell, that was insane, holy shit. Like, fucking 9 years ago, that was insane. Right? If you can't whip out of cover because of... This is what it would be nowadays in Gears of War. VVV rolls up. He goes into this cover. He takes cover. This guy runs, mantle kicks him, headshots him, runs off. Right? Or, for some reason, he doesn't mantle kick, and they both sit here. It would be like, whip shot, bullets hit the wall. He whip shots, bullets hit the wall. Right? There's just nothing. So why am I banging on about this? Because the whole time I was talking about that the core aspect of the game, I was talking about that I got these people to mock up these screenshots that you should be able to search by ping, by host area of the player, by how many people are in it. The type of, do you want it night and rain? Do you want the weapons to cycle? Friendly fire? How fast is the guy's connection? All these things, you could have made cool fucking host features, but now it's like a server, you just get lobbed in there, the maps rotate, you can't play what map you want to play, and it fucking sucks, right? I'm sorry, but I don't know how many more Gears videos I'll make, but I just wanted to make this one, because it absolutely fucking sucks. If this is what Gears has become, players like this used to have complete control over their own situation. If he was good enough, he could kill this player. There wasn't a Lancer that did insane fucking DPS across the map or up close that outperformed a shotgun. If a gun is outperforming a shotgun at close range, it has to be gone. The entire game's basis, the entire game's potential to be great was based on the fact that it was a close quarters combat third person shooter. It wasn't a tactical game. It wasn't a team based downing game. Like, if you wanted to team shot, play Halo. Halo's all about team shotting. Now it's just become like absolute shit, and it's so disappointing. Like, look at everybody bouncing. I was reading a thread the other day that people aren't even having shotgun battles in Gears of War 4. How can that be? you've also got to look at the players. Why are you playing Gears of War if you don't want a shotgun battle? You know? The only reason I would buy Gears of War 4 is to shotgun battle and snipe and that good stuff. If you're not wanting to shotgun battle and you're actually being efficient in Gears of War without shotgun battling, then there's a problem with the game. Talkbow needs an audio buff. I also heard something that was really, really funny, that power weapons weren't really power weapons, and nobody bothers picking power weapons up because basically rifles would do it all. Now, if we look at we talked about here in power weapons back in the day that you would take somebody out, you'd run and you'd secure the power weapon and eventually whittle them down to one player. Without stalemates, that player had to try clutch, right? And that brought people out, so it brought the massive four-man pushes to get a power weapon, right? This is just ridiculous that we're back into a situation that I called 3-4 years ago, that people aren't picking up power weapons. Like, remember in Gears 2, the snipe wasn't a power weapon. You didn't pick up the sniper and think, I've got the sniper, I can down these players, I can alter the battlefield by the fact that I can take out this guy over there and down this guy, and it flips the playing field. It wasn't a power weapon. Nobody bothered taking the sniper, because why would you? Right? It's just so disappointing to have all these people, and I'm doing it for you. Shit. You might think I'm moaning and everything. But I'm doing it for you guys because it must be so fucking infuriating to have a game that you really like just go to shit without people listening. I know what it feels like, and it's why I stopped contributing to the community, because nobody fucking listens. I just don't get it. Right. If you load up Left 4 Dead 2 on Steam and you pull out a shotgun, the shotgun does the same value damage every single time. An AK in Counter-Strike headshots you every single time with one bullet. They have had so many goddamn fucking years, so many iterations of the shotgun to decide what works, right? The problem is they keep splitting the community with different balancing playlists. Oh, this is competitive, this is non-competitive, this is Zeta, this is casual, this is ranked. We're taking out stopping power, we're putting in stopping power. Frag tags, yeah, we love frag tags. More frag tags. Frag tags on the wall. Nope, they're broken, we're taking away frag tags. Players like, well, can we have ink stuns? Alright, ink stuns are in. Ink stuns are out, right? There are all these things that they're desperately trying to reinvent the wheel. Why? Just make it a fast-paced, close quarters combat, third-person shooter. I could make Gears of War a fucking phenomenal game, but it feels like nobody knows what the fuck they're doing at these headquarters. It's either the marketing teams are telling them to do this and that, and this is how it feels. It feels like they're not trying to make Gears of War 4. It feels like they're trying to make a viral game. Now, a viral video, the reason a video goes viral is because it's popular, it's discussing a popular theme at the time, or it's the complete opposite. Say there's a load of tragedy in the world, and you find a really happy video, you're probably more likely to share it, right? If the video contains no swearing, no offensive words, no offensive themes or imagery, you're more likely to share it. And if it's, that it's sort of how it builds up, right? It's perfect for those soccer mums on Facebook to share because there's no offensive, there's nothing about it, it's just a nice little video. And what I feel like they're trying to do with Gears is make it a nice little game. Yeah, you can do it, guys, log in, you can do a bit of shooting, you can buy some coloured guns, you can have a good laugh, you can do some maps, there's a bit of multiplayer, there's a bit of zombie horde style game modes, and you can all buy it and have a good laugh, and it's going to be amazing. Whereas all that's happened is the entire game's lost its identity. Now look at this, right? What does this video remind you of? Does this video remind you of my video fucking 5 years ago? Look. What is that? How can you launch a game like this? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 bullets fired. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 gone. It's just such a shame that a game with so much potential is just ruined through game modes, through everybody, like the bleed out in execution's too long, nobody can even get up on their own. It used to be 5-second bleed out. Here's what I used to do back in the day. This is why I don't play Gears of War anymore. This is what I would do. I'd load up onto Gears and I'd go, I fancy playing some Gears of War. Fancy playing some Gears of War. Put the disc in. What shall I play? Campaign? Nah, I've done the campaign now. I've done it on Insane. Don't really fancy the campaign. Shall I play some Annex Private, some Scrims? Nah, actually, I fancy playing some Ranked. Right? And this is the core issue why Gears of War is dying. Because there's no customization. We got it back in the day. We got it here. The customization options where people could play what they want. We had it all written down. So you're playing Ranked. Right, now what do I want to play? Do I want to play Warzone, where you can be killed from afar by an active down sniper or lancer, and you need a team to help revive you? Or do I want to play Execution where I can get up myself? And I can search, importantly, I'm making that decision because I can control it, right? I can control if it's a 5-second bleed out, a 10, a 15, or whatever. So based on that decision, I would always play Warzone. I would go on to Warzone, and I would have a very long bleed out. I would look for about a 30 bleed out. And I would often use the active sniper, and I would lancer, and we would team shot people down because it allowed me to be a better solo player. If I had 2 people coming at me, I could down a guy from over there, and I could think, right, you're down for 30 seconds. I don't have to think about you anymore. I can focus on player 2. Whereas in Execution, they get up. Whereas now, the Execution timer, you can't customize it. You can't customize anything. You just load into a server where the company have decided the very best settings. And what is better? The company trying to guess some perfect settings, or the user being able to customize them, right? If the user can customize these 5, 10, 15, the map and everything, you'll never be able to beat it. Because some days I might think, you know what, I want a really fast bleed out, and I'd pick 5. Other days I'd be looking at 30, right? So that allowed me to have more fun because I had more control over the situation. You could also choose your damn map. If I logged into Gears of War, right, and for some reason, maybe I wanted to practice a certain map, I liked the layout of it, it just flowed well. Hell, there was a group of people that always played a certain map. So me and my friends, we used to play, and I still remember it to this day, we used to play 15-3, right? We used to play 15 rounds, 3-minute duration. There's nothing like that anymore. This was a community that used to play 15-3. That doesn't exist anymore, so that's a community gone. That's another notch off the belt that we can't do anymore. And we would always play a set rotation of mansion, canals, fuel depot, and I think we'd often put rooftops in there, and bullet marsh. And I think we liked to play process as well. So we had like a weird sort of rotation, and we would always be playing these maps. And everybody would know that there would be 15-3 on Warzone, right? So if you logged in and you fancy playing some ranked, you could look up these settings and you would always find a game, right? and if you only wanted to play one map, you got home from work or something, and you think, you know what, I just want to play canals tonight. You could only search canals. You could search for that map, and yeah, games might not pop up as frequently. A game might refresh instead of every 1 minute a new game, you might wait 5 minutes. You might wait 5 minutes. But you'd sit there, you'd host a game, you'd get your drink, and you'd just be chilling out. And you think, hey, look, the lobby's full. Let's start. And you'd start the game. The game would end and you'd be like, hey guys, just to let you know, because you're not in party chat, you go, hey guys, just to let you know, I'm going to be hosting another one. I'm thinking I'm going to be doing I've got to go soon, so I'll do a quick one. I'm going to do a 3-round, 3-minute canals, alright? Quickly join. And people would join. And you could play canals for 15 rounds and you could do that all night, or you could play 3 rounds and you could spend bloody 10 hours. You could spend 10 hours only playing canals or whatever damn map you wanted to play in ranked. Whereas now it's just like, oh, damn, friggin' gridlock came up again. I hate fucking gridlock. And you don't have the enjoyment because you're not playing customized settings, you're not playing the map you want, and it just gets tedious. And I'm sure a lot of people have switched off this video, and there's a lot more things I could say. It's all been said in this article. But it's just so sad that a game that's apparently taking 7 to 10 minutes to launch and get into a game still has no customization. I could go in Gears 1 and set up the perfect settings and have that instantly popping. People would be coming in. And they'd be my settings, so I would be having more fun. And I'd only be waiting 5 or 10 minutes at most. Right? So, for all the time and everything that's changed over the years, it's still got the same issues. Community split. Shotgun just is broken. Lancers are better than power weapons. Maps are getting too based around team deathmatch. The maps are too big. There's too many aim down sight zones to Lancer people. There's no close quarters anymore. It's like a big open spawn killing TDM fest. You watch montages and people are getting kills in team deathmatch. People are getting kills in team deathmatch and other game modes like King of the Hill, and you're thinking, can you imagine back in the day making a montage in King of the Hill or Annex? They'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? Play a real game mode. Get playing Warzone, mate. What are you doing? And it's just like, it's just so shit to see a game that was so good just go downhill. I don't know. Like, this is what happens, right? Yeah, he's come out and he said, excellent, keep improving. We've lowered the credits by 500 and we've given you some more credits, but this is how it starts. They've got the fundamentals are wrong. They might change a few things, they might tweak the odd thing, but the fundamental philosophy of their game design is just not what Gears is meant to be. It's just such a shame. Like, it was so fun playing 15 odd rounds on that. And you know what? Here's what I'm gonna say. If anybody owns Gears PC, I might buy it and we could do some games, because I'd still like to play the game in a small community on PC. But I'm not buying it because I think it's a good game. I'd be buying it for the subscribers, to play with and have fun on PC. But I don't know. I could say a lot more. I could script it. I could, sort of format it better. Just wanted to give you, blurt out some thinking as to why I'm currently not uploading Gears of War 4. Why is there no Gears 4 footage? So, there we go, guys.